Now, we're going to see how to write a reference list in the APA7. First, to write a reference for a book, you need to enter the surname, followed by a comma, then the initial, followed by a full stop, then between brackets the year of publication, close the brackets, then put a full stop, the title of the book, in italic, then a full stop, then name of the publisher, and then a full stop. Consistency is key in a reference list because by keeping up with the same rule throughout the full reference, you're allowing people to understand clearly which information is which in the reference, so that they can understand easily how to find the document via your reference. You need to write all of the author's name up to 20 authors. After 20 authors, you can add an ellipsis after the 20th. If the book has an editor, you'll have to use the name and add the mention ed between brackets, followed by a full stop, or eds if there's a plural. If the book isn't a first edition, you have to add an edition number after the title of the book. The edition number isn't in italic, and you have to put it between brackets, starting with a number, followed by the mention ed without a capital letter, then followed by a comma, then followed by a full stop, and then close the brackets. You can also add a book series and a number after the title of the book, also between brackets, starting with number of the edition, and then without comma, the volume number with a capital letter, and then a full stop, and then close the brackets. For republished books, like Sigmund Freud, Melanie Klein, Wilfred Bion, you'll need to write both the original year of publication and the year of publication of the book. The year of publication of the book will be after the name of the author, the beginning of the reference, and then between brackets, after the publisher and a full stop, you put original work published, and then the year of publication the book was originally published at, then close the brackets. To reference a book chapter, you'll need to put the name of the author, followed by a comma, then the initial, followed by a full stop, then between brackets the year of publication, followed by a full stop, then the title of the chapter, followed by a full stop, then in, I for the initial of the editor, then the name of the editor, then between brackets ed with a capital letter, then full stop, then close the brackets, then a comma, then the title of the book in italic, followed by between brackets the number of the edition, if there is one, followed by a full stop, followed by a comma, then the pages the chapter are located at, with an hyphen in between, then close the brackets, then a full stop, then the name of the publisher, and then a full stop. Now, for a paper in a collection, you need to start with the name of the author, followed by a comma, then the initial of the author, followed by a full stop, then between brackets the year of publication of the paper, then close the brackets, followed by a full stop, then between single quotation marks the title of the paper, followed by a comma, then in the initial of the editor, then the name of the editor, followed by the mention ed with a capital letter, followed by a comma, then the title of the book in italic, followed by a full stop, then the name of the publisher, followed by comma, then the year of publication of the book, followed by a comma, then the pages where the chapter are in the book, with an hyphen in between, and then a full stop. Now, to reference an article, you start with the name of the author, followed by a comma, then the initial of the author, followed by a full stop, then the year of publication of the article, followed by a full stop, then the title of the paper, followed by a full stop, then the name of the journal, in italic, with a comma afterwards, then the number of the volume, followed without a space with the issue number, between brackets, with then a comma, then the pages of the article, then an hyphen in between the two pages, followed by a full stop. If you have a DOI, so Digital Object Identifier, you can put it at the end of the reference. In the APA7 edition, you don't need to add anything before the DOI. So after the title of the journal, you can add the DOI directly in full. DOI is Digital Object Identifier. A Digital Object Identifier is basically a URL, but a more stable form of URL. So it will be a permanent link on your reference list for people to link back to the article where they can find it on the database. Finally, to reference a web page, you start with the surname of the author of the article on the web page, followed by a comma, then the initial of the author of the web page, followed by a full stop, then the year the page was last updated, then a comma, then the month and day of the last time the page was updated, then close the brackets, followed by a full stop, then the title of the page, followed by a full stop, then the title of the website in italic, followed by a full stop, and then the URL. That's it for APA referencing. If you have any question regarding APA referencing, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me and I'll try my best to answer any of the questions you have. And don't hesitate to use reference management softwares if you're struggling with referencing. Thank you, and don't hesitate to get in touch with the library if you have any more questions.